Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals and welcome to a Heart of the Swarm beta ladder game, and it is going to be between the red Protoss player in the lower right position. It is of course Adel Scott, and in the lower left we do have the blue Terran Sterling, and the replay was actually from a replay pack from Sterling, so this should be great, and really glad that loads of people are uploading games from the beta ladder at the top level against some really well-known Wings of Liberty pros, so should be pretty much a good game, both at a high level. Just because I haven't heard of Sterling, I'm going to go with Adel actually taking the win, but it'll be interesting to see what these two do, and being PvT, it should be a great game. This is actually on the balance patch 10 as opposed to 11, so no crazy good tanks yet, no super fast Reaper rushes with a reactor barracks or anything, and rather just staying a bit more normal. My goodness, if you guys haven't seen the beta change patch number 11, check it out, because, well, the two massive things are of course Reapers no longer require a tech lab on a barracks, and siege tanks no longer require an upgrade to enter siege mode, which is just going to be so much fun. I've been playing around with it, and I've got to admit that some people have been getting quite annoyed with suddenly getting an awful lot of Reapers with tank support right outside their base by going a one reactor barracks with a proxy factory. It is hilarious, and I'm playing around with it until it does of course get changed, because I don't think it's going to last in the slightest. But let's see what's going on in this game for the moment. We've got, of course, the simulator coming down, the gas down, so very, very standard opening by Adel. Meanwhile, for Sterling, getting the 1 racks, no gas yet, so very likely to be seeing a 1 racks command center opening from what we're seeing at the moment. It's a very solid game, it's a very solid opening. You know you're going to be fairly safe doing it because it's quite a long rush distance on this map. The big thing you've got to worry about here is this, the amount of dead space around your main. It means airplay drops are very viable. There's also a lot of dead space coming into the natural you can utilise. So all in all, your concerns have got to be just drops and air harassment. So maybe Adel will utilise some of that. Maybe we'll see some oracles. A Stargate opening is possible. But for Sterling, just happily getting down that command centre there. So everything coming together as we would be expecting at this moment in time. The SCV Scout on its way over. Again, this is normal. Probably going to pull back to the single. This watchtower in the lower position. This top watchtower is quite well, it is in an interesting place because you can attack over the top route here, so it is helpful to hold it, and it's also a nice way to prevent a surprise attack coming into your 3rd or 4th base. And to be honest, we should see most of both these players expanding to this position, just because you've got a much nicer area to defend, and you can defend your natural quite simply off it as well. So I will be interested to see whether they do expand to their 3rd bases relatively quickly. For the moment though, Adel not really committing to anything. Got the 2 gas down, that's the first major thing I'm seeing. Also getting down the 3rd pylon. So the SCV is going to be the thing that is going to be irritating. The Stalker is now out though, so we'll push that back. So Adel probably waiting to get the key piece of tech until after that SCV is out of the way. There we go, the Stargate coming down as I thought we'd likely see on this map. The options you have available to you are pretty limited in the sense that we'll either be seeing Oracles or Void Rays. Void Rays with their charge ability is now super strong, but the Oracles decimate a mineral line in mere seconds, so both are very viable options but serve different purposes, and Adel will have to work out which he's going to go for the best result. Still though, we've got the Marines pulling up, so this is a reaction to what has been scouted. Moving these Marines up I think is a good choice, because you know that there was 2 gas and there was no tech shown. You're going to be assuming that it's airplay on this map anyway, so all of it looking very, very solid indeed. The Stargate nearly finished up for Adel at the moment. That Stalker did come and try and poke and prod, but of course the barracks was down ready. An Oracle is going to be the unit of choice, getting chrono boosted out. Of course the harassment potential on this unit is massive. The tech lab only just coming down on this barracks now, so that means things like Stim aren't going to be out for a long, long time, and as a result with Marines alone it could be quite difficult to defend this. But we do have, where are those Marines? They're just sitting down here, so that is a good place to chuck them down straight away. We can't have to even see all of them, but they are hiding around there by the gas, so good position to have them in, just ready for when the Oracle comes across, assuming it's rallied straight there. Where is it actually going to? I am not quite sure. We'll follow this lovely little line, because apparently I can't watch it, and yeah, so it's going to come straight past these Marines here. That means that the Marines will do some good damage. Oracles are very squishy for those of you who don't know. They've only got 60 shields and 100 HP, so they die very quickly in head-on engagements. But 3 Marines alone won't be that good against it. The Oracle can pick those off very quickly. But here we see 3 more now getting pulled up, and that means this Oracle is going to have to be moved away incredibly fast. Adel with great reaction speed though, but Sterling moving straight over. You can see how quickly this Oracle starts taking huge amounts of damage, coming now down to the natural base, but Sterling reacting to this perfectly, pulling straight back, and that Oracle is getting very low on health actually, as we can see here, taking large amounts of damage incredibly fast already, and is now trapped in this little bit of spot and does get picked off. But here comes the second Oracle in now, but with how effectively this is getting shut down with the missile turret there, well, to be honest, Adel is not in a nice spot because he has invested an awful lot of gas and an awful lot of his economy into getting these Oracles up, and they have done a grand total of nothing, to be honest. Meanwhile, Sterling is now able to get up his third command center, knowing he's safe due to the fact that this harassment was shut down, knowing that the Oracles are so gas intensive that there's not going to be anything else coming out for Adel, and he should be able to assume that this base isn't down either yet. Although Adel is banking up an awful lot of minerals at the moment, so should definitely be looking at taking down this expansion. There is a proxy pylon down there, another one just on its way up here as well. Twilight Count's quite interesting. Stim nearly finished though, so that means that any kind of gateway aggression, once Stim is done, is going to be incredibly ineffective. We've got the starport as well as the reactor coming down on the factory there, so medevacs are going to be coming out, and Stim Marines with medevac support are going to absolutely destroy any gateway units that Adel may decide to attack with. Blink is now on its way down. I'm noticing quite astonishingly actually that there isn't a single sign of a mothership core, which is quite surprising when you think that Adel is maxed out. Instead, just pushing up with these stalkers, the Marines are out of the bunker, the rest of the bunkers are out, the ones that the Marines are out of position, they are coming down now though. Stim is finished, so that means if there was a good Stim forward, they could do some good damage. Stim did get used, so that is all great, and Adel now has to be a little bit careful poking and prodding. Stim has been revealed though, the double bunker coming down for Sterling. That's a great decision in this situation because you know that you've got these 2 orbital commands on their way, you know you've got your 3rd orbital up basically, so if your opponent doesn't have anything there, you're going to be absolutely fine, and with this much aggression it's unlikely that they've taken their natural base yet, especially after having seen the Oracle. The Oracle is still on the field, but just isn't doing much at the moment because of the missile turret. But forward come the Marines with the medevac support. These Stalkers are going to have to be very, very careful. The Stim forward should get one at least. The rest of those Stalkers pulling straight back, and Adel, clearly behind in the supply count, has lost more units. These double bunkers are now complete, loading up. That means that really additional aggression is not going to be too viable unless we see the Blink up, which could be absolutely brilliant. Blink is nearly researched. The single reactor is getting taken out, so of course once Blink play starts coming in, the Oracle will give the vision of the high ground, and that's going to make things a little more awkward for Sterling, but not by too much. The bunkers are still there, doing nice damage. As Stim 4 goes down, Sterling could really do with picking off that Oracle, then he'd be in a much more comfortable position. A couple of units getting loaded up for a drop. Blink is now just about to complete, as we can see, literally about a second or 2 away. So now we can see that Blink moving up, Adel immediately reacting to it, and well, up come the Stalkers straight away. This is where you need a quick reaction. Great use of Time Warp, preventing a lot of those Marines getting back quite so quickly, picking off the tech lab that was researching upgrades, and picking off the reactor on that barracks as well. So that is very nice. More add-ons being taken down, and the Stalkers are going to get away without taking any damage in the slightest. And now again, aggression is coming down the front, and you can see how much this Time Warp actually slows down units. It's pretty insane. One bunker falls, the second bunker goes down very quickly as well, and Adel now just moving out, knowing he's taken out the bunkers, knowing he's done good damage by picking up a lot of those add-ons, and as a result doesn't want to overcommit. Some Blink Micro going on here, just making sure the Stalkers are as cost effective as possible. But still, the Marine numbers are pretty high, the medevac support is still there, and as we can see for the moment, Adel just picking off units when and where he can, then blinking back in order to reel back up those shields. But it looks like he's going to come back into the main base yet again, really utilising the vision granted by these Oracles, and really forcing Sterling to try and be everywhere at once, which is never going to be too much fun. The Stalkers coming in, the Marine count is not so high at the moment. Reduction has been reduced quite substantially. We do see yet again another Time Warp going down. The Stalkers are getting engaged in a much better position here this time. The medevac count is climbing as well, up to, I believe that's 5 medevacs straight away there. 2 more about to come out as well. That means those Marines are going to engage very cost effectively. There are 2 Marauders in the field as well now. Looking at what else is happening, there's not too much to be honest. Down here in Adel's base, everything looking fine. Sterling's killed 5 workers in total. We've got the natural base up though. So, as we can see, these two, they're trying to engage as best as possible. They're trying to get a bit of poking, a bit of prodding, but Adel really the aggressor in this situation. As the Marauders come out though, things do become a little bit more difficult. And where is all of the army? All the army just sitting up in the main base, not coming down here to deal with these Stalkers coming in the front, which will get quite a few SCV kills straight away. A couple of Zealots coming in, but as we can see, Time Walk being used in a very effective manner, just allowing Adel to engage and in the main and the natural, and preventing Sterling from being able to quickly react and move his units to cover both positions. So this is an interesting use of that skill, and really an effective use as far as I'm concerned. So what we got now is Sterling moving forward, getting ready to take his third, picks off that proxy pylon. That is going to be a big win for the Terran player, because now able to really relax a little bit. Holding this lower ground position is also advantageous when you have got an opponent who's trying to utilize this cliff area through Blink, and essentially by holding this area you don't have to worry about defending two places. You've just got to defend around here and you'll be fine. But a push forward coming towards the watchtower now. The medevac count certainly climbing higher up to 9. We've got the 2-2 upgrades on their way out for Sterling. That's against no upgrades for Adel Scott. That's a problem in itself, because Marine Marauder Medevac engages very effectively against gateway units anyway. Once you factor in the fact that they've got an upgrade advantage as well, things are certainly not going to be good for a Protoss player in that situation. So looking around, there's absolutely no sign of teching towards AoE damage or splash damage, no sign of a Templar Archives yet, no sign of robotics facility and therefore robotics bay for Colossi. We do have the Mobius reactor coming down, or sorry, not the Mobius reactor, the Caduceus reactor, which does still in this patch increase the healing rate of medevacs by a rate of 2. That has of course been changed in balance patch 11, but it's still very, very strong in this game, and we are probably going to see why it has been removed shortly. Now, still moving across, we've got some more engagements coming in. This small group of Stalkers are going to have to really hightail out there quickly, because a lot of damage is going to be done. Finally, we've got the Templar Archives on its way down here for Adel, so teching towards those High Templar, which are going to come out exceptionally late in this situation, and could cause a massive amount of problems for Adel without them. Because, to be honest, this is a very large infantry force, considering the medevac upgrade is nearly complete, considering we got 2-2 nearly complete. Both of those things are going to be on the field and able to be utilized by the Terran before Adel gets High Templar out. As a result, we're definitely going to see a situation where a big push from this Marine Marauder medevac ball could really knock out Adel straight from the game. The third base is up, of course, for Sterling. No third base even started yet for Adel, as well as the fourth base now starting. But here we go, we've got some movements here. The medevac healing upgrade is done. You can see the color does change and they're moving forward. This is a lot of units. That healing potential is going to be absolutely huge. Storm is trying to get research. The scan goes off to see what's there, and straight away seeing that there isn't actually too much. There's a couple of cannons down, because ultimately the Protoss player has to try and buy some time in this situation. Adel desperately trying to keep those Stalkers, keep this Bioforce back, but there's a lot of medevacs with a lot of healing and a lot of infantry there as well. The 2-2 upgrades are done. A push forward. Sterling looking like he's just going to go for it. A chrono boost going down on that Storm Tech, which is going to be so essential. Some good force field to do hit, but you can see now just how effective those heals are on that infantry unit. Picking up, we're dropping everything back behind the force field, trying to keep everything alive a bit longer. So the damage output from this infantry, plus the increase of healing from the medevac, is just allowing Sterling to absolutely destroy Adel's army right now. As we can see from the supply count, half the supply to Adel compared to Sterling, all of the force taken out, and there is the GG. Well played. And we can see there perhaps why in balance change 11 in Heart of the Swarm we do have the medevac healing upgrade removed, because that definitely helps Sterling lots. Adel though should have certainly been looking to try and get out splash damage quite a lot sooner, but a good harassment early play, and I hope you did enjoy. Remember, like the video if you liked it, because then more people will see it. Leave a cool comment, and of course subscribe, because I get new games up every single day of the week. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.